but you know, I was doing things that were right also, but sometimes things are what they are. Through that, I was renting in a salon, and my clinical skincare, which is what it was, one of the hairdressers that were working there knew a woman that was a healer, and she had this healing sanctuary that she did. Now she says, I know you're into all this healing stuff, and I know you know, you want to come with me. It's free, and why don't you check it out? Are you into the angels? Well, I'm not really with the angels. But I was like, but I mean, I respect and know that they're around. I was more like very into the earth. But well, that was how I thought then. Sure enough, she brought me there, and little did I know that when I got on that table, 15 minutes of was a release, tears.
Wow.
And the woman that worked on me happened to be the one that she was talking about in the salon. Just happened to turn out that she was the one that worked on me, so she felt like she could talk to me afterwards and let me know. And she came over to me and she says, you know, your daughter, she's coming to visit? And I'm like, how does she know that? And I said, yeah. She goes, well, she just received a healing also. And sure enough, my daughter came she was coming for a visit, and we had the most healing visit that we ever had.
Wow.
And give or take whatever happened in between and afterwards, the point is that she was like, you know, her message was very loud and clear. And I said, there's something to what happened here. So I started taking the woman that was running the healing sanctuary, I started taking her meditation classes, and I was really, wow, the angels to me were like, wow, there's something happening here. I can feel what was going on within me in my room, and I always had these releases. And then I found out where she went, and that led me to Deli University. And Deli University is located in McKaysville, Georgia, which is the Blue Ridge Mountains, where North Carolina, Georgia, and what am I leaving out? They meet. One more. Tennessee.
Okay.
And I wanted me to leave out Tennessee. Through that, that is a magical place. I can't even say enough about it. And really what it does is it brings out the healer in you. And the only way to bring out the healer in you is to heal thyself.
Thank you.
It's all about that. And I have gone through so many different situations and understandings and ahas, but still, this wasn't right, or that wasn't right, and staying in one place for too long, and boyfriends that, you know, took from you, or, you know, things that, you know I called them to myself. I understand that, and I understand it now. But the most interesting thing is I think about now is all those teachers that I told you about, they were me.
Yes.
Those teachers were all healers. Those teachers were all learning about their ego. And that is what I had to work with and work on. And that ego thing, which is still going on because we do need it, that ego was my tremendous teacher. And all of these things that these other teachers did were such reflections of the creativity within myself, the healer within myself. As I connected with them at the time, I didn't know exactly, but I knew there was a reason for the connect. But as time went on, I'm like, oh, you know, my ahas, I know now that that was all about me. And to be using universal energy, well, I shouldn't say use it, to be a part of the universal energy, you want to be a clear channel to be able to utilize that when you're doing your work. And that is what Delphi taught me how to do. But Delphi could teach you anywhere you go, you can learn, but it's all about you and how you bring it into your practice by disciplining yourself to meditate, and by also bringing yourself to the understanding that there's something else here that's unfolding today. Nature's always talking to you, always talking to you. So that Mother Earth is still there, never went away. And that Father Spirit, it's a constant, you know, uniting. And that is how I, you know, circled into, you know, who I am today. And, you know, I'm not going to lie to you, I have my days, you know, but my vibration will never, ever go back the other way again to what I used to, how I used to think. Yeah. And like I said, all of the things that we do about that unfolding of that child, I have gone to Delphi. for, oh, I'm going to learn this particular healing, but make no mistake, you're going there, you're getting healed. There's something that's going to come at you, I don't care what you say. And you kind of prepare for that in a sense, but you're not really prepared for what's going to happen. So at one point I was learning energization, which is a Brazilian healing system, from a beautiful soul that was here, Mauricio Panacet, which is a beautiful story. You should get that book. And one of the women that works there was married to him, and she taught us that. Now, I thought I was going to learn energization, which I did. I went there for that. But I got on the table with the students as we were working with each other, and that turned into a healing for myself. And I cried all the way back to my room, and it was all about me and the inner child that really needed to heal. And that was, you know, one of the situations that I experienced there that were releasing, and again, another unfolding that occurred for me on a personal note. But this is what I see in people when I see people come to me. I don't always say, because a lot of it is about you unfolding yourself. I just guide when necessary. Yes. And when I see it in my meditation classes, it's just so beautiful. And I know that, you know, it's working. So, and that's what brings me my fulfillment, you know, and that's, to me, that's my purpose, being here and being able to show other people the nurturing that's within yourself that I came upon myself. And it was a long road. It was a long road to get there.
Well, I had other people talk about the inner child, which I feel is a major problem for just about everybody who hasn't gotten the help. And it's a long process. People think they can read a book, listen to a CD, talk to a couple of friends, and that's it. And I know what you are talking about because I spoke about some of the things that I went through in my first book, dealing with family issues, my parents not knowing and understanding how to be a parent. So I had to learn how to forgive them because I wasn't even conscious that I was holding something against them that was really destroying me. And this is what I think a lot of people don't understand. When you're holding these negative emotions, you're only hurting self. And the thing about it, some people think you're not supposed to have negative emotion, but I explain to people negative emotions are good. They're letting you know when something is wrong, something is out of alignment. The problem is when we hold on to them and we get stuck in it. And that's why I keep telling a lot of adults, they need to heal and grow up. We have a lot of adults that are children mentality. That's why most people are shopaholics. Everything they see, they need it. That's a child. You know, and competing with each other. You got this, I got to go get bigger one, you know, to compete with you. And it's a major problem because I see a lot of people are in so much pain.
Well, that's an inner need. They don't realize it's coming from there. I agree. And that inner need is not going to be understood until you get to the bottom of it.
Yes, you got to go inside.
You have to go inside. You have to do the work. When somebody comes to me and does Yandi work, and they're like, wow, it's life-changing, but, you know, sometimes they feel a little down because, well, you just brought all this stuff up from the past. Are you doing the work at home? One night I didn't, you know, so, I mean, yes, I can do a skim, and I can go over it with you again just to make sure everything's, you know, in place. But you need to do it yourself because you're taking responsibility.
Say that again?
Yes, you are taking responsibility. And you know, I've been there. You know, I'm first one to tell you. We make excuses, we find, you name it, denial, whatever it may be. Resistance is huge. You know, I have some funny stories about resistance. Whenever I have somebody coming to me for Yandi work, it's the funniest thing. I'm like, oh, they call me up, I'm running a little late. Okay. I go, okay, resistance. Then an hour's gone by. How much late are you going to be? And you're not going to believe it, I got a ticket. What? What do you mean you got a ticket? 3 hours. I swear to you, the first times I did work on a person that I knew. She was one of my meditation students. Sweet, a sweet girl. And she was an ex-cop, and I'm like, and you got a ticket? She goes, well, I got out of it. She goes, but the point is, she goes, then I got to your neighborhood, and there were all these roadblocks, and I didn't know how to get around them. Roadblocks, what does that tell you? And she was willing. She wanted to come. We laugh about it now. But that is resistance. It's like the energy field that you've created from that.
Unconsciously.
Unconscious.
That's the
Consciously, you think. You think I'm on my way there. Oh, and my sister called too, and she had all these problems, and I had. So, what are you putting first? Your sister's problems, or are you putting
self?
Right, and that's the self thing that we're talking about. That is the self.
So we have 1 minute. Is there anything you would like to say to the audience? Because this is deep. And we can go on and on and on.
Yes, we can. We can go on and on with this. But I just want to say, be open to the awareness that the self is there and you do care. Caring about yourself isn't about just taking care of the outside and you know, what you eat and so on and so forth. It's about nurturing the self through meditating, through understanding and uncovering and finding out what does it take. Whether it's to take a meditation class, network with people that are of the same interest, have a girlfriend that you can talk to, get to it. You know, get to it somehow. And before you know it, you're just putting it out there and the universe will greet you.
Thank you.
Always.
Okay, I want to thank my guest, Barbara, and my audience. The creator in me greets the creator in you.